Good evening, my brother, my sister. This is your brother Samuel. This evening, I want to share my few thoughts in this world that we are living in of science, culture, and education. We are surrounded with so many things, so many information out there, and I just want to talk a little bit about procreation. We have a world where there are so many voices out there, voices of abortion, the rights of women, voices of they call it the Snip, which is vasectomy. It's too much. It's a world we are living in of science, culture, education, and here if we look a little bit, I wanna say that if we look a little bit, from the Garden of Eden to those who are Christians, we can see that there are two seeds. There is the seed that come in the lineage of Abel, which came through Seth, and also there is the lineage of Cain. And I want to say here that we are given the word of God as Christians. And I want to also say something here that to those men, and I'm not attacking anyone here, to those men who believe in science, I don't have anything against anybody, but I just want to say that to those men who personally I have talked to, they have done those things of snipping or other, going through operation so that they can't have kids in a way of birth control. I would want to say those I have spoken to, they have told me, I wish I didn't do it. They regret, because some of those procedures, it's permanent. And a man can tell you, I don't feel the same. There is something somewhere I don't feel the same. And indeed, for sure, because I'm hearing this thing, or rather I'm speaking these things to advise men who never, or rather who ever think of ever doing it. I would advise you, do not do it, because you will never be the same. And this also, I would say that to those men who have done it, they regret doing it. They are not happy about it, because there is something within how God has created a man. There is something, there is a change that is there, of what has been done to their being. And that nature, or rather that manhood, is taken away in the name of science, and or rather education, however you want to call it. And I want to say that even those, some of them, they can disagree and say it's okay to do it. Deep within themselves, if they can be sincere and they can tell the truth, they can tell you it's not the right way to go about it, and it's not a good thing that I did, because that's the truth. So anytime someone changes themselves from the natural way how God created them, I believe they interfere with the creation. And I also want to say here, as I said, that God created, or rather God is the creator, and the devil cannot create. The devil can only take what is created and pervert it, change it. And on the other hand, I want to talk a little bit to those who believe in abortion. We want to say here that life begins at conception. The moment the seed of a man is conceived into the womb of a woman, and there is that union of a male and a female egg, life begins there. Now, trying to add that, it's a murder, whether it's 1 week or it's 1 day or however it is. I believe, to me, that's killing, because there is we all came there. We all started from that. And I also want to say here something that if you speak in an honest way to a woman who has done abortion, they can confess to you and they can tell you that some of them, they even say, I hear baby crying. There are some of them, they are looking for a crying baby, because somehow they murdered, they killed. I said in the beginning that there were two seeds: the seed of Abel, rather, that come through Seth, and then there is the seed of Cain. And we notice here, that Cain is the one who killed. And I'm not saying here that those who did abortion, they come from another side. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say here, that killing or murdering, it's not of God. And to my sister who ever think of and you hear this video, you ever think of ever doing something of that, or like abortion, I would advise you, please do not abort, because it will disturb you the rest of your life. You will regret it the rest of your life. So also, I also want to talk to this whole thing also about a testimony. And I once spoke with one police officer, and by then he was drunk, and I was just getting to talk with him and witness to him. And he was drunk, and he was in so much distress. The thing is, this was in post-violence that happened in Kenya. And this police officer from Kenya, he was talking about, or rather he was telling me how he doesn't have peace, because during the post-violence that was in Kenya, he killed so many people. And for this reason, he usually, hear the screaming, when he is asleep. He told me that he sleep with a gun on his bed. And sometimes when he is sleeping, he sees someone coming, and then sometimes he can wake up and grab the gun, and he is just sleep, he was just sleeping. The point is that there is the crying blood of innocent people that he shed. What am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say that anyone who ever killed, because God is God of his word. He said, thou shalt not kill. Anybody who ever kill, take the life of another person, that is wrong. And no matter how it is or it is taken, it's wrong. I don't believe in terminating the life of a human being or killing. It's wrong. So I was saying here that this police officer, live with the blood of murder, surrounding him. He cannot sleep. He has to take alcohol, and get drunk, because he cannot wash that guilt of the blood that he shed and killed, people. So also, I'm saying this in connection to this world that we are living in. and more especially here in the United States, where there is this debate that are going on, of abortion, the right of women that it's okay to do abortion. I would say, my sister out there, if you ever hear this and you take my word for it, I would advise you, if you ever get pregnant, don't you ever think of aborting, because you will never have peace within yourself. That blood of that baby that you killed will always scream in your ears the rest of your life. So I would advise you, if you ever think of it, don't you ever do it. If you have ever done it, I would say that God is a massive God, and is God of another chance. You all that I would advise you is, you should go on your knee and ask God to forgive you, and cry to God from his mercy. I know one thing is that the blood of the baby will always scream in your ears, and that's one thing for sure, because it cannot, it's the blood, it's the life of the child that you took. But I believe that God is God who forgives all sins, all those things that God, there's nothing that God can forgive. And I believe that if you cry to God and you ask God to forgive you, and you give back your life to God and walk with God and believe the word of God, I believe God is a forgiving God, and God will give you rest, as far as you give your life to God, and God will give you rest. So this evening, I want to say that God is God of his word. God has given us his word, and all that God wants us to do is to cry for him, or rather to invite him into our lives. And he is a forgiving God who forgive all sins and give us a chance as his sons and daughters to live and to walk by his word. Anyway, so my few thoughts here as I wind up. I want to say that we have a world that is surrounded with science, a world that is surrounded with education and cultures of so many things that are going on. But I want to say here that we are given the word of God. The word of God is the absolute of the human life. It's the truth. It doesn't matter. Whoever you are, in what class of life you live in, whether you are rich or you're poor, however you are, the word of God is the absolute. No matter how much education we can have, no matter how science and progress of science that we can acquire, there is nothing that can substitute the word of God. With those few words, anyway, I want to hear your comments down there. You can also hit the subscribe button if you want to follow me, and I hope I'm reaching out to someone there or rather, I hope I'll reach out to someone there, in other words, to help someone to never do something that they will ever regret thereafter. Anyway, thank you so much for this little this little video that, or rather this few thoughts that I have with me. And I'll say, may God bless you.